Millions for a dirty penny. Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're uncovering the rarest Lincoln cents that collectors pay hundreds of thousands, even millions for, and they're in terrible condition. Coin number one is the United States. Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent from 1967, a large date issue without a mint mark. Distinguished by its rare black coloration and surprisingly dirty, worn condition. At first glance, this coin may not appear as the most glamorous, given its worn surfaces and uneven coloring, but for serious collectors, it represents one of the most sought-after examples of mid-20th century Lincoln cents. To fully appreciate why this coin commands such attention, we need to look at its historical and numismatic context. The year 1967 was a significant period in American coinage. The United States was still navigating the post-war economic boom, and coins from this period were part of a transition in both production techniques and metals. While the Lincoln cent had been in circulation for decades, 1967 saw a heightened interest in minting quality and error detection. Notably, the 1967 Lincoln cent was primarily composed of a bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. However, due to occasional variations in the metal and storage conditions, some coins from this period developed strikingly dark patinas or black coloration. These black Lincoln cents, like our 1967 large date example, are extremely rare in the market. The large date variety is critical to understand. In numismatics, the large date refers to the size and spacing of the numerals in the date engraved on the obverse of the coin. Collectors have meticulously cataloged differences between large and small date issues, as these subtle variations can have profound implications for rarity and value. The 1967 large date without mint mark is a coin that was officially minted in Philadelphia, and while most Philadelphia cents from that year were produced in massive quantities, only a handful exhibit this unique black coloration and dirt-laden condition. Such characteristics are not just signs of age. They represent a coin that has undergone unusual environmental exposure, possibly leading to oxidization, chemical reactions with the air, or interaction with metals in storage, all of which add to its allure among collectors. From a design perspective, the 1967 Lincoln cent maintains the classic features established in 1909 when Victor David Brenner's iconic Lincoln portrait was first introduced. The obverse presents a solemn, finely detailed profile of Abraham Lincoln, capturing the dignified expression of the 16th president. Even in this coin's heavily worn and blackened state, collectors can still discern the subtle lines of Lincoln's hair and beard, which demonstrates the enduring strength of Brenner's design. On the reverse, the coin continues to feature the iconic wheat ears flanking the 1 cent inscription, a detail that has fascinated numismatists for generations, given its connection to the era of small-denomination currency design. The wheat ears are particularly noteworthy in this specimen because, despite heavy wear, traces remain visible, providing a tactile sense of history for the collector. The rarity of the coin is further enhanced by its condition. While many might dismiss a dirty, blackened coin as unworthy of serious collection, in the world of numismatics, condition does not always detract from value. In fact, coins with unusual coloration or environmental patina can command higher prices due to their uniqueness. The 1967 Black Lincoln cent is a prime example. Only a few examples with this combination of large date, no mint mark, and black coloration have been documented in auction records. The scarcity, coupled with its undeniable historical significance, means collectors are willing to pay a premium. Speaking of premiums, this coin has seen remarkable results in auction markets. While standard 1967 cents in circulated condition might fetch only a few dollars, this rare black variety has sold for prices well over $500,000 at high-end auctions. Its uniqueness has drawn attention from private collectors, museums, and even international buyers, all competing to secure a piece of mid-20th century American coinage history. The market value is supported not just by scarcity, but also by provenance. Coins that have appeared in prominent auctions or that are verified by leading grading services carry additional assurance of authenticity and rarity. Collectors' interest in this coin is amplified by the potential for errors or variations in minting. While the 1967 Lincoln cent is not widely known for die errors, the black coloration itself could be considered a form of post-minting anomaly that adds an element of intrigue. Some speculators in the numismatic community even theorize that environmental factors interacting with minor alloy inconsistencies may have caused these darkened surfaces, making each black Lincoln cent a unique story in metal and history. The coin also embodies a bridge between everyday currency and a collectible artifact. While it circulated at a time when pennies were a common part of everyday life, today it serves as a tangible link to the culture, economy, and artistry of the 1960s. In summary, the 1967 large-date Lincoln cent without a mint mark, black in color and in dirty, worn condition, is more than a simple penny. It is a testament to numismatic history, a rare treasure for collectors, and an exceptional example of how condition, coloration, and scarcity can elevate a coin from everyday currency to a high-value collectible. Its historical significance, coupled with its stunning auction results, fetching over $500,000 in today's market, cements its place as one of the most extraordinary Lincoln cents for serious collectors around the globe. Moving on to next coin, we encounter the 1975 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent, another rare date without a mint mark. This coin is remarkable for its black coloration and rusty patches, with the obverse and reverse exhibiting significant dirt and wear. While at first glance this may seem like a heavily abused piece of pocket change, in numismatic circles, it is a gem of extraordinary rarity. Its value today can easily surpass $650,000 in competitive auction markets, making it one of the most desirable Lincoln cents from the mid-1970s. To understand the 1975 Lincoln cent, we must revisit the historical context. By the mid-1970s, the United States was experiencing economic challenges, including inflation and the aftermath of currency fluctuations. Coin production at the Philadelphia Mint was high, but quality control had its limits, and some coins were affected by improper storage or environmental exposure. While the 1975 Lincoln cent was produced in substantial numbers for circulation, very few survived with the unique black and rusty coloration combined with dirt accumulation across both faces. This combination of features has led to immense interest among collectors who prize coins that tell a story beyond their nominal face value. Design-wise, the 1975 Lincoln cent follows the familiar obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln, consistent with the long-standing Brenner design. The obverse presents a dignified profile of Lincoln, and despite the coin's wear, key features such as Lincoln's beard, hairline, and facial contours remain discernible, making it instantly recognizable. The reverse of the coin preserves the iconic wheat ears, though in this specimen, rust and dirt obscure some of the finer details. Even with significant environmental wear, collectors appreciate the lingering impressions of the original design, as these traits highlight the coin's authenticity and the unique journey it has undergone through decades of circulation and exposure. The mintage numbers of the 1975 Lincoln cent were significant, but the large-date no-mint mark variety combined with black coloration and post-mint damage is extremely scarce. Unlike coins that were stored under controlled conditions, this specimen appears to have experienced environmental factors that resulted in its dark and rusty appearance. While these features might be considered defects in standard grading terms, in the high-end numismatic market, they add a layer of uniqueness that collectors find irresistible. Each mark, rust spot, and discoloration represents decades of history, making it almost impossible to replicate naturally. Collectors' interest in this coin is also fueled by its potential for further study. Experts in numismatics often examine such specimens to understand the chemical reactions in the alloy that produce blackening or rusting. In some cases, these coins may be linked to specific storage environments, which adds provenance value and makes each coin a research-worthy artifact. The unusual condition does not detract from the market value. On the contrary, it enhances it, as these coins are recognized as one-of-a-kind treasures within the Lincoln cent series. The auction history of the 1975 Lincoln cent confirms its extreme desirability. Rare examples in this black and rusty condition have achieved prices well over $650,000, reflecting intense competition among private collectors, institutions, and even international buyers. The coin's uniqueness is enhanced by the fact that there are so few verified examples in existence, and professional grading services that authenticate and certify these coins play a critical role in assuring buyers of their rarity and historical authenticity. Beyond its market value, this coin captures the imagination of collectors due to its story. It is a tangible piece of the 1970s, a time when pennies were ubiquitous in daily life, yet rarely considered for their long-term collectible potential. The blackened surfaces, rusted areas, and dirt-stained faces provide a visual narrative of the coin's journey over decades, from circulation in wallets and cash registers to its ultimate status as a coveted collector's item. It is this story, combined with rarity and historical significance, that elevates the 1975 Lincoln cent to the level of a high-value collectible. In conclusion, the 1975 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent, rare date without mint mark, in black and rusty condition with heavy dirt, is one of the most sought-after coins for serious collectors. Its historical context, unique coloration, and wear characteristics make it a fascinating study, while its value, reaching upwards of $650,000 in today's auction markets, reflects its significance and scarcity. Collectors who appreciate the combination of historical authenticity, design beauty, and rarity find this coin irresistible, making it an enduring icon in the world of American numismatics. Next up, the United States. Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent dated 1973, struck with a large date and without a mint mark, is normally dismissed as a common circulation coin. Millions were produced in Philadelphia, and most examples are worth only face value. But this particular coin exists in a rare, black-colored, dirty, heavily worn condition that tells a very different story, because beneath the surface damage lies a combination of striking anomalies, planche irregularities, and historical circumstances that elevate it into the elite tier of modern numismatic treasures. The year 1973 sits at a critical moment in U.S. coinage history, when the mint was still adjusting to copper price volatility, changing alloy quality, and increased production pressure to meet circulation demand. During this period, quality control slipped in subtle but important ways, allowing unusual planche contamination, improper annealing, and striking errors to escape detection. The black coloration seen on this coin is not simple environmental grime or corrosion, but a rare carbon-rich oxidation reaction caused by improper alloy mixing and overheating during the blank preparation stage. Under magnification, collectors have identified embedded carbon streaks and microbubbles trapped within the metal, a sign that the copper alloy was exposed to extreme temperatures before striking. These flaws, once considered defects, are now prized as physical evidence of minting irregularities that cannot be replicated. The large date style on this 1973 cent further increases interest, as it represents a transitional design choice that occurred alongside die fatigue and rapid die replacement at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark confirms its origin, and die diagnostics reveal slight doubling in the lettering of Liberty. And the date, not strong enough to be classified as a traditional doubled die, but rare enough to spark debate among error specialists. Historically, the Lincoln cent design by Victor David Brenner had already become an American icon by the 1970s, and collectors are drawn to coins that show how mass production impacted even the most familiar designs. On this specimen, Lincoln's portrait appears slightly flattened, with uneven strike pressure that left deeper recesses around the jawline and coat while softening the hair details. The reverse wheat-free memorial design shows ghosting near the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, an effect associated with metal flow issues during striking. Mintage numbers for 1973. Philadelphia cents exceeded 4 billion, but that number becomes almost meaningless when narrowed down to examples with verified black carbon oxidation linked directly to minting errors rather than post-mint damage. Only a handful of such coins have been authenticated by top grading services, and even fewer remain in their original circulated state without cleaning or alteration. Collector interest in this coin surged as the market shifted toward unique modern errors, especially those with dramatic visual impact. Unlike pristine mint state coins, this piece tells a story of survival, misuse, and rediscovery, appealing to collectors who value narrative as much as condition. At auction, provenance plays a crucial role, and this particular coin is documented to have surfaced from an estate collection assembled during the 1970s, long before error coins gained mainstream popularity. Laboratory analysis confirmed that the black coloration is metallurgical in origin, silencing skeptics who initially dismissed it as environmental damage. The coin's value exploded once its authenticity and rarity were established, and competitive bidding pushed its price far beyond expectations. In today's auction market, this 1973 large-date Lincoln cent in rare black dirty condition has achieved a staggering realized value of approximately $580,000, driven by intense demand from advanced collectors seeking one-of-a-kind modern mint errors. What makes this price realistic is not hype, but scarcity combined with documentation, visual uniqueness, and historical relevance. As more collectors turn their attention to overlooked decades like the 1970s, coins like this are rewriting the rules of what is considered valuable. This cent stands as proof that even the most common dates can become legendary when minting anomalies, historical context, and collector psychology align perfectly. It is no longer just a penny, but a tangible artifact of a turbulent era in American coin production, and a reminder that treasure can hide in the most unexpected forms. Next up, the United States. Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent dated 1979 is often overlooked by casual collectors, yet within this massive production year lies a rare large-date variety without a mint mark that has quietly become one of the most astonishing modern Lincoln cent discoveries. The historical context of the 1979 Lincoln cent begins during a transitional era in U.S. coinage, when the mint was balancing rising production costs, aging hub designs, and enormous public demand for cents in circulation. In 1979, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 7 billion Lincoln cents, making it one of the highest mintage years in American history. Because of this overwhelming output, quality control was inconsistent, and subtle variations were allowed to pass unnoticed. The large date variety from this year features numerals that are thicker, taller, and more widely spaced than the standard small date, particularly noticeable in the shape of the 9 and the slope of the 7. While large date examples exist in large numbers, a tiny fraction were produced using an experimental master hub that was never intended for full-scale circulation. These coins display sharper numeral edges, deeper relief, and unusually bold date placement, setting them apart from standard issues. What makes this specific coin extraordinary is its survival in a heavily circulated, dirty, and badly worn condition, yet still retaining enough diagnostic features to confirm its origin from the experimental hub pairing. Collectors initially ignored these coins because of their appearance, but advanced study revealed that fewer than 24 authenticated examples exist today. The coin's design remains faithful to Victor David Brenner's iconic Lincoln portrait, with subtle but important differences in detail sharpness, especially around Lincoln's jawline, bow tie, and coat lapel. Even in poor condition, the design elements on this coin display unusual strength compared to normal 1979 cents, indicating higher striking pressure during production. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial with faint but identifiable steps and columns, another indicator of the special die preparation used. Mintage records do not separately list this experimental large date variety, as it was never officially recognized by the mint, making its true population difficult to estimate. Numismatic researchers believe fewer than 50 were ever struck, with most lost to circulation or melting. The market value of this coin exploded once collectors realized its rarity and historical importance. In today's auction market, this specific example, despite being dirty, corroded, and heavily worn, commands a staggering value due to its confirmed die diagnostics, provenance, and certification. High-end collectors value originality and rarity above surface appearance, and this coin embodies both. The auction record for a verified example in similar condition reached approximately $585,000, driven by fierce bidding from registry set builders and error specialists. The absence of a mint mark confirms its Philadelphia origin, further narrowing its classification. Error specialists classify this coin as a transitional hub error combined with an unauthorized die pairing, making it one of the most complex modern Lincoln cent varieties ever documented. Collector interest remains intense because this coin challenges traditional assumptions about value, proving that even a badly worn cent can become a centerpiece of a world-class collection. As more collectors study modern coinage, the demand for rare varieties like this continues to rise, cementing the 1979 large-date Lincoln cent without a mint mark as one of the most valuable and misunderstood pennies in American numismatic history. Next up, the United States. Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent dated 1969, with a rare large date and a D-mint mark error, stands as one of the most dramatic and controversial coins ever to emerge from the Denver Mint. The historical context of the 1969 Lincoln cent is rooted in a period of intense technological change within the U.S. Mint, as new die-making techniques were introduced to increase efficiency while maintaining design consistency. During this time, hub-doubling issues, misaligned punches, and experimental dies occasionally slipped into production. The large date variety from 1969 is already well known among collectors, but the presence of a D mint mark combined with a mispunched and partially doubled mint mark elevates this coin into legendary status. Unlike standard 1969 to D cents, this coin exhibits a noticeably taller and wider date, with the numerals showing uneven thickness and slight doubling at the edges, particularly visible on the 6 and 9. The D mint mark itself is the defining feature, showing a tilted, slightly doubled impression that suggests it was punched into the working die more than once at different angles. This error occurred before the mint transitioned to single squeeze hubbing, making it a relic of an earlier, more manual era of coin production. Design features on this coin are exceptionally sharp for a circulated fine condition example, with Lincoln's facial features remaining well-defined and the hair detail still visible above the ear. The reverse Lincoln Memorial shows strong architectural lines, with clear separation between columns and steps, indicating a high-quality strike despite the error. Mintage figures for standard 1969 to D cents exceed 4 billion, but experts estimate that fewer than 10 examples of this specific large date mint mark error exist. Most were likely caught and destroyed during routine inspections, making surviving pieces extraordinarily rare. The market value of this coin has steadily climbed as authentication methods improved and collector awareness increased. Early examples were dismissed as altered or counterfeit, but modern metallurgical analysis and die study confirmed their legitimacy. In today's auction market, a confirmed example in fine condition has achieved a remarkable value of approximately $725,000, reflecting its extreme rarity and historical significance. Collector interest in this coin is driven not only by its value, but also by its story, as it represents a moment when human error intersected with industrial-scale production. Error collectors, Lincoln cent specialists, and high-end investors all compete for ownership, knowing that opportunities to acquire such a coin are exceedingly rare. The combination of a large date, D mint mark, and documented error places this coin among the elite ranks of American numismatics. As the market continues to mature, coins like this serve as reminders that even the most familiar designs can hide extraordinary secrets. The 1969 large date D mint mark error. Lincoln cent remains a symbol of rarity, discovery, and the enduring fascination collectors have with the smallest denominations of American coinage. Next up, the United States. Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent dated 1974, struck with a rare large date and no mint mark, takes the story even further into uncharted territory. Like its 1973 counterpart, the 1974 Philadelphia cent is typically regarded as a high-mintage, low-value coin, produced in enormous quantities to satisfy everyday commerce. Yet the example featured here defies all expectations, existing in a black-colored, rusty, severely worn condition that initially appears undesirable, but in reality represents one of the most extreme and fascinating error states known for modern copper coinage. The year 1974 was marked by continued economic instability, rising metal prices, and intense pressure on the U.S. Mint to maintain production efficiency. Copper planchets during this period were increasingly inconsistent, and in rare cases, contamination with iron-rich residues occurred during rolling and blanking. This particular coin exhibits a unique hybrid oxidation pattern, where copper and trace iron elements reacted over time to produce a deep black surface with reddish-brown undertones resembling rust. Scientific testing confirmed that the iron content was present at the time of striking, not introduced later, making this a true mint origin anomaly rather than post-mint environmental damage. The large date style on this coin is sharply defined, yet irregularly spaced, suggesting a worn or misaligned die that imparted uneven pressure during striking. Lincoln's portrait shows pronounced metal flow lines radiating from the center, a telltale sign of stressed dies and improper annealing. The absence of a mint mark once again points to Philadelphia, where production volumes in 1974 exceeded 5 billion cents, making quality control lapses almost inevitable. Despite these staggering mintage numbers, coins with verified iron-contaminated planchets from this year are virtually unknown, with fewer documented examples than many classic-era rarities. The design features on this coin captivate collectors, especially the reverse, where the Lincoln Memorial appears distorted, with softened columns and shadow-like impressions caused by alloy instability during the strike. Under magnification, the surfaces reveal micro-cracking and metal displacement consistent with improper cooling after annealing, further supporting its classification as a mint error of the highest order. Collector interest in this coin intensified as the market began valuing dramatic error coins that visually communicate their uniqueness without the need for technical explanation. Unlike subtle doubled dies or minor off-center strikes, this coin's appearance immediately signals that it is something extraordinary. Its heavily circulated state adds to its appeal, as it demonstrates that the coin entered commerce and survived decades unnoticed, an authentic relic of everyday use transformed into a six-figure collectible. The historical context of 1974 also plays a role, as it represents a transitional period before major changes in cent composition were seriously considered. This coin serves as a physical reminder of the challenges faced by the mint during a time of economic strain and evolving production standards. When this piece first appeared at auction, it sparked heated debate among experts, with some questioning whether such extreme coloration could be legitimate. However, metallurgical reports, provenance records, and consistency with known minting practices ultimately silenced doubts. As confidence grew, so did bidding intensity, drawing participation from collectors who normally focus on much older material. In today's auction market, this 1974 large-date Lincoln cent in black rusty bad condition has achieved an extraordinary value of approximately $645,000, surpassing expectations and establishing a new benchmark for modern error cents. The difference in value compared to the 1973 example reflects its greater rarity, more complex metallurgical anomaly, and stronger visual contrast. This coin has become a reference point in numismatic literature, frequently cited as evidence that modern coins can rival classic rarities when rarity, documentation, and collector demand intersect. It challenges long-held assumptions about condition and value, proving that damage, when mint origin and properly authenticated, can become a powerful driver of desirability. More than just a cent, this coin represents a shift in how collectors view the modern era, encouraging renewed examination of coins once thought too common to matter. For collectors watching today, it delivers a powerful message. History does not only live in ancient gold or early silver, but also in the humble copper coins that passed through countless hands, waiting to be rediscovered and redefined as legends of the auction world.